Our latest excursion was to Harpers Ferry and the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, which they even admitted has a name that, could use updating for the modern day, but that's what it was called originally, so that's what they're sticking with. Which makes sense. It was me, my dad, and my mom this time, and we went to Harpers Ferry. And Harpers Ferry was neat. It's a small town. The whole town itself is a national historical park. And it was also the site of John Brown's raid on the federal arsenal, which I did a huge project on in my junior year of high school. It was a big video project about Harpers Ferry raid, and it was when I had first started getting into filming and decided I wanted to pursue it professionally. And so I've always had this sort of appreciation for Harpers Ferry, the incident, or the raid, and I even got to see guns from that raid at the little museum they have at the Gettysburg site from the Civil War battle. And but now I got to see actual Harpers Ferry, and I got to see the location of where the armory was, and then 150 meters over where the armory now sits, or 150 feet, not meters. I can't remember when to use metric or not. But it was cool. It's a small town. The weird thing about it is half of the buildings are little, museums for things, where it'll be a slice of life. Like, this is what a hat man, I forget what the term is, but a guy who makes hats and that, this is what his store would have looked like at the time. But then it's next to a real operational store, and so sometimes you go into a place thinking, oh, I might buy a hat here, and it's not a store, it's museum. So that was a little weird, but the rest of it was fine. It was hot, and I had a migraine because of the heat, which made it seem like I was not having fun, but I was enjoying it. It was cool. And then we stayed at a hotel casino combo. I don't know why I said it like that. It was a hotel connected to a casino. Well, it wasn't connected physically, but the casino owns the hotel. That was neat because I've only been to one casino before, and it just had slot machines. So this casino had actual dealers for blackjack and roulette, which was fun. I've never seen that before. Of course, I only played on the slot machines, because I don't really like to gamble. But hey, I got to be in an actual casino. Except for this one also had smoking permitted, which did not help my migraine, because the smell of smoke really aggravates my headaches. So that sucked, but, just played in the non-smoking section, and that wasn't too bad. But the next day, we went to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, which was exactly what it sounds like. A lunatic asylum that was constructed they started construction shortly before the Civil War. It didn't finish construction before the Civil War broke out. And it was actually pretty interesting. I'm not going to go through all the different facts and things, and we weren't allowed to take video, but we could take photos, so you'll see a bunch of photos here. Any of the people you see are actually just mannequins. They were kind of creepy. It was interesting because about some of the darker parts of medicine in our past as a country, but getting it kind of on full blast is a different thing. Like, I know lobotomies used to be a thing, but having video of somebody performing a lobotomy is not something I wanted to watch, and I didn't watch that because I saw him moving the needle around when it was already inserted in the guy's eye socket, and the guy was reacting to it, and I was like, you know what, that's enough, I think I'm good. And that wasn't even part of the tour, that was just as here's the extra rooms you can explore on your own before or after the tour. But it was pretty cool. There was a lot of history there, and a lot of things to learn, and the different tours go to different areas of the complex, or the building, so there's reason to go back and do it again, because I could do a different tour that gets me to different places of the building that I didn't get to see on the tour that I did. So that makes going back, worth it to some degree, if that's something you're into. And then we came home. It was a good day. But that's about it. It was a 1-2 day excursion. I guess 2 days because we did do an overnight. 2-day excursion, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. Got to see new things. Completed my Harpers Ferry journey. And now it's life as usual.